Richard Montbleu, very, very, very disturbing phone calls to find out Jeff Pestka has moved into this guy's life, taken over all this stuff. It's crazy how I see people like Jim Sullivan, Karen Sullivan, his sister's trying to tie this guy, Jeff Pestka, to me, who I don't even know. There's something very, very nefarious going on here. I'm going to call Jeff Pestka, and I'm going to put him on the hot seat right now and let him know. I just talked to Richard, and Richard told us that Jeff had had kidnapped him, and he lied to me about it. He said he left on his own free will. But the truth is, Jeff had tied him up. What do you say? Taped him up, right?
Gagged him.
Put a sock in his mouth and blindfolded him and threw him in the back of a truck. And Richard was able to escape. And Jeff told him, you're going to feel the wrath of God. You're going to be sodomized at least once tonight. And this is the guy that says he's working for God. And he's like, oh, he's one of my followers. He's not one of my followers. This guy's some infiltrator, agent, provocateur, liar. And I'm sick of these kind of people, man. I've had enough. That's enough of this bullshit. Okay. Thanks for letting me vent. So now we're going to call Jeff up. Jeff, we're about to call you up and record everything. So let's call Jeff.
Now, subscriber you are trying to reach is not available. Please leave your message after the tone.
Yep. Yeah, he's not answering because he knows he's been found out. I'm sure of it. I mean, he knew yesterday that he was found out. Okay, so we just tried to call Jeff Pestka, who now mysteriously is not answering his phone because he knows that we have an email from Richard. Now he knows we've talked to Richard, so he's probably freaking out, running. So now it's time to see what we can do to, help Richard. We need to help Richard. That guy's out there scared. He doesn't know who to turn to. Let's see. All right, I'm going to pause this recording. This was the attempt to get a hold of Jeff Pestka and have him explain why he told us that Richard left on his own free will when the truth is Jeff tied him up, gagged him, and put him in the back of a truck and was driving him 3 hours south before Richard was able to escape. So something very evil is going on. Hello. Hang on one sec. Hello.
Smith.
Yeah, man. So yeah, we very much want to talk to you. There's a lot going on, and I'm trying to again put everything together, all the relations together. So I've been on the phone for a long time with Richard.
Right.
Is there anything you want to tell us?
Out.
About anything? I think this would be your time to do it. If you're going to do it, you better do it now. About everything. If this is your chance to tell the truth, because I've got a whole lot of recording of Richard. I've got a whole lot of stuff, and I'm about to start making all kinds of phone calls. So you want to? Yeah. Okay. So let me start with this. So Richard, you told me that Richard left on his own free will. Yeah, and he with his suitcase, and that you apparently told law enforcement that he walked out of there on Saturday, and that's how he just was gone.
No, he didn't. He did not walk out.
No, yeah, well, you know that we know that because we talked to Richard. You bound him, you gagged him, you put tape over, you blindfolded him.
Tell law enforcement. I told them the last time I.
Okay, so well, hang on. Richard's already told me that Richard, listen, you're not going to interrupt me. I'm going to speak and you're going to listen, and then we're going to take it from there. So you bound him, you gagged him, you kidnapped him, and he escaped from you, but you told him he was going to be sodomized at least one time that night.
What? Wait, no.
Okay, then, so, you know what? I've already caught you lying. I've already caught you lying twice. Let me tell you something. All this, the Lord, ask the Lord this. You know what? I'm calling you out, Jeff. Jeff, I'm calling you out. I don't even know you from Adam. And you know what? A couple of weeks ago, you sent me some check, and you've taken hold of Richard Montblue's finances out of nowhere. You came from the streets out there in whatever, New York, and now all of a sudden, you're trying to tie me to you with a couple of checks. That's nuts. Yeah, well, you know what? I'll tell you what. It's time. It's time for all these recordings to go to the police. That's it. Enough's enough. Yep. Richard said, so either you're a liar or Richard's a liar, and I don't believe Richard's a liar. He said that you gagged him, tied him up. Do you know how many recordings we have now? Do you know how many recordings we have of Richard telling us all this? You tied him up, you gagged him, you blindfolded him. No. Did you tie him up, gag him, and blindfold him? Yes or no? Yes or no? Let your yes be yes and your no be no.
Yes.
Okay, that's called kidnapping.
So that's what the Lord wanted to do.
So you're saying the Lord wanted you to kidnap him. That's not the Lord who I serve, buddy.
No. He wanted me to drop him off in San Diego.
Oh, so you're going to drive all the way from where Richard lives, all the way down to San Diego by the border of Mexico, and you told him he was going to get fucked in the ass at least once that day. That's what Richard said. Okay, wait. Either Richard's lying or you're lying, and I don't believe you. You just listen. You just told me that God told you to kidnap Richard.
No. He wanted me to drop him off there, not kidnap.
You tied him up, gagged him, blindfolded him, and he managed to escape from the back of your truck, you liar. You're a fucking liar, dude. I've already caught you lying 3 times. Anyone that lies, listen, lying is of Satan, bro. You know what? I'm calling all the authorities now, Chief. All of them.
I'm not lying.
Well, anyway, I don't care. You can tell it to the police because you know what? I've got all the tape recordings that prove you're lying. Someone's lying. You or Richard. Okay, well, guess what?
I am not.
No, you know what? Let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a question. I want you to answer it. When I called you about the checks, how come you simply didn't just say, well, yeah, Johnny, Richard set up some company and he wanted to make you the beneficiary of the money. Why didn't you just say that up front?
Because that's not what happened.
Okay, you know what? Go ahead and tell us everything that happened. Go ahead. We're listening.
The Lord unbeknownst to me.
Quit saying the Lord, okay? Don't say the Lord one more time with me because let me tell you something. I serve the Lord, and you know what he showed me about you? Fraud, phony. That's what he showed me about you. Agent provocateur, yes. That's what he showed me about you, Chief. And you know what? You've been lying to me.
I have not been lying to you.
And you're telling me Richard's lying. Who's lying? You or Richard?
Richard, obviously. Because I'm telling you.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Why did you take Richard's credit cards and his ID?
Because the Lord wanted him to go out and...
No, okay, listen, quit saying the Lord. Why did you... no.
I'm going to say the Lord. I'm going to say the Lord.
So you're going to say the Lord told you to take his ID and credit cards?
I didn't take his credit card.
Did you take his ID?
His ID was at the premises, and the Lord didn't want me to have it. He wanted to have him go out.
Oh, you know what, dude? You're so funny. You know what? You don't serve the Lord I serve at all. You serve the other side, dude. You're a total setup.
No, I do not.
Yeah, you do. You know what? Okay, it's time. It's time to get everybody involved now. You're a liar. You keep saying, yeah, you are. You keep saying you serve the Lord. You're just a total fraud, dude. And you know what? I busted you. Yeah, you are, and I busted you. Yeah, yeah. I've talked to Richard too many times. Listen, I've got so much audio tape with Richard contradicting what you're saying.
Because he's not doing truth.
Oh, okay. So it's Richard that's not being truthful. Even though I have you, even though the first time I called you up, I pressured you and I've already caught you lying in your own phone calls. Corey, Zach?
Yes.
Yeah, no, dude.
We have you.
Yeah, we have you lying out of your own mouth. Okay. Okay, tell it to the cops. Tell it to the cops. Okay, we're gonna call the police now.
Did the same little Karen laugh. You want me to pause this?
Yeah, so that was me putting, I wanted to put him under extreme pressure. I call it squeezing the sponge. Now we watched him freak out. Oh, the Lord told me to take his license and take his stuff. That's why I said, quit saying the Lord. He keeps always saying that crap. And then you have people like Jim and Karen inflammatory trying to tie me to this. That's really weird. That's the part I find even weirder. But anyway, so now I'm gonna try and get a hold of the police department out there and turn all these tapes over to them. I'm going to go put this on social media. We need to bring Richard Montbleu in safely. This guy is a freaking lunatic. Okay, here we go. All right, let's do this.